colleagues, Me fans, and all our partners. And a special welcome to everybody who's watching us live. Thank you so much for taking out time. My name is Manu Jain. I'm a global VP with the firm and I head Xiaomi's business here in India. Let me start by introducing Xiaomi's unique business model. As many of you know, the first product that we built many years ago was MIUI. And then we built a host of internet services. And these are the key products that we want to take to all our Mi fans. And our hardware products are amazingly beautiful smartphones, smart TV, smart routers, smart ecosystem products are just a vehicle to deliver these internet services to our consumers. And then we have new age retail business, Mi.com and Mi Home, which allow us to take these amazingly beautiful hardware products to our consumers. And this is a business model which has worked very well in China and also in India. We started our India journey 3 years ago, and we have been growing exponentially since then. In just last 1 month, during the Diwali month, we sold more than 4 million units. And this was pretty... This was pretty incredible because this was the first time ever that a smartphone company sold 4 million units in India. We were the #1 selling brand across both our partner platforms, Amazon and Flipkart. And during the first 2 days of sale, which was the 20th and 21st of September, we sold more than 1 million units. And we were selling 300 phones every single minute. Thank you. This was also the best ever quarter for Xiaomi India. In just one quarter, which is July, August, September, these 3 months, we shipped more than 9 million units. Now, we started our India journey 3 years ago, in July 2014, when we launched our first device, Mi 3. And during those 3 months, we sold only about 100,000 units. On our first anniversary, which was Q3 2015, we touched 1 million units for the first time. Last year, which was the second anniversary, Q3 2016, we touched 3 million units for the first time. And this time, we have crossed 9 million units for the first time ever. We continue to remain the fastest growing smartphone brand in India. If you look at the latest reports from Canalys and Counterpoint, both of them say Xiaomi has grown more than 250% year on year. And it is much faster, it's the best or the fastest growing brand in India right now. Not just this, if you look at the top 3 selling phones in India, all 3 of them are Xiaomi phones: Redmi Note 4, Redmi 4, and Redmi 4A. And this is pretty incredible. Thank you. After many years, the top 3 selling phones are from the same brand, which is Xiaomi. And I would want to specifically call out Redmi Note 4 because this was the #1 selling phone in India in Q1, again in Q2, and now in Q3. And this is special because a 10-month-old product continues to be the best selling phone in India. And today here we are. We are here to launch a new series. In fact, we are not just launching one single phone, but we are making 4 big announcements today. The first big announcement is launch of a new series, which we are Redmi Y. Now, why Redmi Y? Why? Right? Why this name? So Redmi, as all of you guys know, stands for power and performance at a very affordable price. And that's why it has become India's favorite smartphone series in a very short period of time. But we also know there's a huge set of audience for whom self-expression and lifestyle is very important. And this series has been designed keeping in mind needs of these consumers. And what is a better way to self-express than selfies? So this is the first big thing that we will be talking about today. We are also launching MIUI 9. And thank you.
Manu mentioned, my name is Jay Mani. I lead product for us here in India. And we have 4 things to announce, 56 different different languages across 220 different countries and regions. It's really, really awesome. And a lot of the Mi fans here today first used MIUI by flashing it on another phone. Many of you know that MIUI was actually our first stuff that you see here. Things like themes, scrolling screenshots, dual apps, second space. So we asked Mi fans from around the world, people who have been using it for years, what is their favorite thing about MIUI? What do they like best?
MIUI हा पहिल्यांदा 2014च्या सुरुवातीला
itu MIUI 5 ya.
I know MIUI
Nggak perlu copy data.
The best thing I love about MIUI is the themes obviously.
Dual app की help से मैं
In MIUI makes Android very fast to use and I love it.
Update-nya setiap minggu. Dari dulu ketika saya pakai tahun 2014 sampai
It's easy to use. If you can run 2 apps parallelly on a single screen, I would love to see it.
OS-nya belum
We sent out over 70,000 surveys and got over 12,000 responses, asking people what they wanted to see in MIUI 9. Here are the results. You can see by far the top request was speed. It's twice as much as the second choice. And so naturally, our top focus for MIUI is speed. And MIUI is fast. We made a lot of performance improvements to make this happen, but today I'm just going to talk about 2 of them: faster app launches and a smoother UI. First, let's dig into the app launches. So there are 3 main areas that we focused on here, and I'm going to describe them briefly. So optimize touch feedback. The first thing that you do when you want to launch an app is you touch the icon on your phone. So optimize touch feedback. We have improved the speed at which we can detect the touch. So basically, after you touch your phone, MIUI 9 responds much more quickly. After we know that you're going to launch a phone, the next thing that happens is CPU acceleration. So we ramp up the clock speed because we know you want to launch an app, and this makes it happen a lot more quickly. And finally, optimize thread scheduling. So on your phone, there's a ton of stuff happening in the background, apps, downloading things, notifications, etc. Optimize thread scheduling makes sure that we prioritize available resources on your phone to the app that's launching. So what are the things, how does all this shake out? What are the results of all these improvements? Well, it's a little difficult to explain, so we shot another video to show a comparison of MIUI 9 running on Redmi Note 4 and the Samsung J7 Max. And we compared the top app launch times for the top 50 apps in India. Thank you. So as you can see, MIUI 9 and the Redmi Note 4 was faster on 34 out of the 50 apps. But once you actually launch the app, the most important thing is how smooth is the experience? How well does it perform? And we spent a lot of time on this in MIUI 9. A ton of optimizations. I could spend hours talking about this. Actually, probably we could spend a few days. We'll try to keep it brief. I'm going to just talk about 3 of these things. So this one at the top left here, automatic background activity management. Basically what we do is we take the stuff that is not time sensitive that's happening in the background, and we make sure that it runs in serial, so one after another instead of all at the same time. And this is so that the stuff that's happening in the foreground doesn't have any bottlenecks because of background activity. Next, we have dynamic resource allocation. This makes sure that the hardware, things like CPU,